After 8 years of marriage, Jennifer Jenny Woods publicly announced on social media with her male secretary, long planned, wish fulfilled. I liked the post, but the announcement was deleted in a flash. Jenny called me via video, and in front of her aggrieved male secretary and a group of girlfriends, she scolded me for being narrow-minded and utterly boring. 5 minutes later, the male secretary's social media background was changed to a kissing photo with Jenny. In the past, I would have gone to her place and made a scene, making everyone unhappy. But this time, I really gave up on her. When Jenny got back to the apartment, I was cleaning up the leftover food and cake on the table. Yesterday was her birthday. She told me she was bringing a few girlfriends home to celebrate. To make her happy, I took a half day off and busied myself all afternoon. But I waited all night, and Jenny never showed up. If I hadn't seen Justin Carter's social media post, I wouldn't have known she'd spent the night with another man without saying a word. Did you make this cake yourself? Jenny smeared cream on my hair. Seeing me nod, she wrinkled her nose. No wonder it's so ugly. In the past, if I heard her say that, I would have humbly assured her that I'd make her happy next time. But now, I couldn't be bothered to coax her. Seeing me busy, Jenny rarely acted coquettish. Ryan, I packed you some seafood stew. I saw it. Jenny always brought something tasty home after insulting me. It was our unspoken sign to move on. I'll heat it up for you. Without giving me a chance to refuse, she walked into the kitchen. 10 minutes later, the kitchen was filled with a burning smell. Jenny hadn't come out of the bathroom, so I had to turn off the stove for her. As I was serving the stew, her phone lit up on the counter. It was a message from Justin Carter. Jenny, I miss you already, and it's only been half an hour since we parted. Before I could look away, Jenny's sharp voice came behind me. Who said you could look at my phone? I didn't. Ouch! Jenny angrily punched me in the back. My left hand was burned by the hot seafood stew that I didn't hold steady. Jenny gave me a look that said I deserved it for a long time before suggesting that she take me to the hospital. Faced with the pain, and unable to drive, I wasn't pretentious and went out with her. As soon as I sat in the new sports car that I gritted my teeth and bought for her outright, a pair of men's sneakers came into view. Jenny's pretty face changed slightly. Justin Carter, I've told him so many times not to be so forgetful. I calmly replied, kids will be kids. The car fell into a brief silence. Jenny looked at me strangely. Aren't you going to throw them away? I blinked. Why should I throw them away? Oh, right. If it were the old me, who saw her as everything, I would have thrown out something that another man had deliberately left in her car. But now, I don't even care about Jenny herself. So how could I care about a pair of sneakers? Hurry up and take me to the hospital. I'm going to be late for the office. Hearing my deep voice urging her, she obediently sped up the car. Just one turn away from the National Central Hospital, Jenny's phone rang. It was Justin Carter calling. Justin Carter said in a low, hoarse voice that he had drunk too much last night and felt dizzy and couldn't sleep at all. After hanging up the phone, Jenny, looking worried, didn't even glance at me and turned around to drive to the apartment complex where Justin Carter lived. After parking the car, she took out the first aid kit that I had prepared for her and said to me with innocent eyes, "Honey, I left something at Justin Carter's. I'll be right downstairs as soon as I get it." With that, Jenny locked the car and went upstairs alone. An hour passed silently. In the stuffy car, baking in the sun, I waited until I was almost dehydrated and fainted, but Jenny didn't come back. Using safety hammer in the car, I smashed the car window and climbed out of the car, my lips pale, and went to the hospital with the help of a kind security guard. In the evening, Jenny had just returned to the apartment and saw me eating takeout. "Ryan! How dare you order takeout without ordering any for me?" She knew my hand was injured and I couldn't cook. But why didn't she order any for me? She had clearly told me half an hour ago that she was coming back. After 8 years of marriage, I always read and replied to Jenny's messages in seconds. She didn't expect me to shrug indifferently and say perfunctorily, "My phone was charging. I didn't notice what you sent." Jenny clenched the gift bag in her hand, pursed her lips, and placed the bag in front of me. "Here, I don't want you to be so heartless. This is the cologne I bought for you." Looking up from the food and meeting her proud and smug gaze, I said politely and distantly, "Give it to someone else. I'm not used to this brand of cologne." Half an hour ago, Justin Carter posted a photo on social media of buying a watch at a luxury store. In the corner of the picture was Jenny's left hand with her wedding ring. Seeing that my hand was bandaged and I was still staring at the TV cartoons and giggling mindlessly, Jenny moved closer with a straight face, wanting to check my injury carefully. I instinctively dodged her touch, accidentally knocking over the bag and breaking the cologne inside. Seeing this, Jenny finally couldn't help but lose her temper at me. "Ryan, why are you being so petty? You only had to wait in the car for a while this morning. Did you have to get so angry that you broke the present I gave you?" "I'm not angry." My honest words were met with Jenny pushing her luck and fiercely poking my forehead with her sharp manicured nails. "You're clearly angry. Ryan, how can a man in his late 20s/early 30s be so jealous of a boy who just graduated? Do you even have a brain?" I was 4 years older than Jen. New York. Every time we argued, she would mock me for being brainless and old. Then she would leisurely watch my out-of-control ugly state as I refused to lay a hand on her and could only slam myself in the face in impotent rage. But this time, I neither harmed myself as she wished, nor did I ask her madly if she regretted marrying me. I only said, "If that's what you think, there's nothing I can do." After dealing with the takeout trash, I opened the door and walked out. In the past, whenever I pretended to run away from an apartment, she never chased after me. But today, Jenny followed me to the elevator entrance for the first time, frowning and asking me where I was going so late at night. For the first time, I lied to her. "I'm just going to wander around downstairs for a bit to get some air." Jenny seemed to have something else to say, but the elevator doors had already closed. Less than 2 hours after I left, while I was chatting at a bar, I received a message on my phone. Jenny sent a question mark. Seeing that I didn't intend to reply, my cousin Mike Johnson said in disbelief, "Ryan, your goddess of a wife finally changed her mind and took the initiative to contact you. If you don't reply, she'll be very angry, right?" Our relatives and friends all knew that I loved my wife the most and were afraid of making Jenny unhappy. But tonight, I not only ignored Jenny, but also drank and had fun with them until late at night. When I got home, Jenny was standing in front of the refrigerator, drinking milk. She didn't care where I had gone, and I ignored her, going straight to the bathroom to take a shower. But as soon as I lay down on the bed, Jenny leaned against me, weak and boneless. After only a few seconds of cuddling, I pushed her away hard. Jenny couldn't bear it any longer and turned on the bedside lamp. "Ryan, don't tell me you forgot that today is my fertile window." Jenny and I weren't child-free. So on these days of every month, she would reluctantly let me touch her. I turned over and faced away from her. "I'm too tired from work today. I'm going to sleep first." Hearing the words of refusal that she had used countless times before coming from the mouth of her doormat of a husband, Jenny was stunned for a long time. Finally, her pretty face turned red with anger, and she slammed the bedroom door shut. I knew that she would be sleeping in the guest bedroom for the next few days. In the past, whenever Jenny slept in a separate bedroom from me, I would feel uncomfortable all over and suffer from insomnia all night. But that night, I slept especially soundly. The next day at the office, my work efficiency was extremely high. When my boss jokingly asked me what kind of reward I wanted, I looked at him seriously. That lawyer who's really good at divorce proceedings that you took me to see last time, please introduce her to me. On the 9th day of sleeping in separate bedrooms, Jenny, who never cooked, made me a plate of bacon spaghetti that I loved to eat, then went back to the bedroom to continue sleeping. At 3 p.m., I saw a group photo from Serena Baker's wedding in a group chat with girlfriends. Not only was Jenny in the photo, but so was Justin Carter, who was smiling triumphantly as he wrapped his arm around her slender waist. Less than 5 minutes after the group photo was posted, Jenny's phone call came. She hesitated. Ryan, don't get me wrong. Serena Baker's wedding was on a weekday, so I was puzzled. What's there to misunderstand? You're not angry? Why should I be angry? The woman was silent for a moment, then acted coquettish. Honey, wait for me at the office after work today. I'll drive you to eat something delicious. Before I could refuse, she hung up the phone. When Jenny came to pick me up, Justin Carter was sitting in the passenger seat. Ryan, Ms. Woods always says that you're an unsociable homebody. I didn't expect a homebody like you to change your ways and join in the fun with us. Facing Jew. Stin Carter's sarcasm, I smiled calmly and opened the back door of the car, knowing my place. Along the way, Jenny kept looking in the rearview mirror, trying to chat with me. But I kept looking at my phone, giving her a few perfunctory replies before falling silent. When we arrived at the restaurant's private room, Serena Baker greeted us and said in an exaggerated tone that my absence from her wedding was a great regret in her life. I knew that Serena Baker was praising me so highly to appease her girlfriend, Jenny. But I really wasn't angry at anyone. Don't say that. I owe you a happy wedding. Seeing that I had no intention of delving into the matter and was only interested in sitting down and eating, Serena Baker blinked in surprise. Over the past year, she had covered for Jenny countless times while she was vacationing with Justin Carter. There was even one time when I found her in person and exposed her lie about shopping with Jenny in person. She wasn't as surprised as she was now back then. Halfway through the dinner party, the restaurant manager brought over a few bottles of wine and asked Jenny, "These were stored here after your last date with Secretary Carter. Would you like to open them now?" Seeing that no one was speaking, I kindly spoke up to help the clueless manager out of the awkward situation. "Open them all. Don't waste them." Seeing me walk out of the private room, Jenny quickly followed, her voice unusually apprehensive. "Honey, the office closed a big deal a while ago. These wines were bought entirely for celebration." I waved my hand dismissively and walked into the men's bathroom. When I returned to the private room, Jenny was blushing and drinking a cross-cupped wine with Justin Carter amid the cheers of her girlfriends. 2 years ago, an almost identical dinner party. Jenny, who couldn't hold her liquor, was being pressured to drink by these so-called girlfriends. Back then, thinking of her health, I didn't hesitate to flipping the tea. Able in anger, but she narrowed her eyes and pointed her finger at me, scolding, "What's wrong with drinking a little? We women can do whatever we want. When did it become your place, you doormat, to tell us what to do? Get out!" The dinner party ended on a sour note, and that night, Jenny, who was drunk, started to run a fever. 2 days later, she called me crying and said that her stomach was hurting really badly, so I ran several red lights and took her to the hospital as quickly as possible. But the doctor told us that Jenny was 1 month pregnant and that our first child had been miscarried because she didn't take care of her body. Upon hearing this result, Jenny cried and screamed at me in the hospital. "It's all your fault. You good for nothing. If your sperm quality wasn't so bad, how could my child have died so easily? Wah, I hate you, Ryan. Go die." Recalling this, I didn't return to the dinner table, but instead strode away. Jenny, who followed me home, was filled with extreme resentment. "Ryan, are you sick in the head? You just left without saying a word. Are you happy now that everyone's unhappy?" Seeing that I didn't say anything, the woman curled her lips into a cold smile. Since you care so little about me, why don't we just get a divorce? This was the second time Jenny had proposed a divorce to me. The last time she proposed a divorce was because she suspected that I had peeked at her phone. Back then, I knelt at her feet without any backbone, crying my heart out and swearing to her that I would never make her unhappy again. But at this moment, I looked into her eyes and said, okay. The huge living room was so quiet for half a minute that it felt as if the air had stopped moving. Jenny suspected that there was something wrong with her ears. Ryan, what did you say? I said okay. I agree to a divorce. I stood up from the sofa and was about to take out the property division agreement that the lawyer had drafted for her to look at. But Jenny suddenly raised her voice and asked through gritted teeth, "Are you sure you really want to divorce me?" I let out a snort of laughter. Is there such a thing as a fake divorce? Jenny widened her beautiful eyes and looked at me for a long time as if she were looking at a stranger, then suddenly smiled contemptuously. I didn't know you knew how to play hard to get, but I'm not falling for it. The woman left in a fit of pique. For the next half-month, she didn't come home. It wasn't until one night that I received a call from Serena Baker. She said anxiously that Jenny was too drunk and needed someone to take care of her. But I said, let her sleep it off there. If that doesn't work, ask Justin Carter if he's free. Heaven and earth could bear witness that my words were entirely for Jenny's sake. But she, who should have been dead drunk, gave me a dirty look as soon as she got home. She sat next to me with a cold face, watching TV. She came home on time every day with a cold face, no longer going out to drink and have fun. Not only that, but she also personally knitted a scarf with a wife's brand that I had always wanted. In the past, I would have couldn't wait to post several updates on social media to show off even a keychain that she gave me. But this time, the woman refreshed her updates countless times, but not even half a strand of yarn could be seen. Jenny seemed to think that I had forgotten about the divorce. So her gentle and considerate behavior didn't last long. That day, she had just sent me a message telling me that she was going to sleep, but not long after, I, who had just accompanied a client for drinks, ran into her in the corridor of a private nightclub. Ryan, why are you here? The ambiguous and dim lighting couldn't hide the panic on Jenny's face. As she stammered, at a loss for what to say, I smiled nonchalantly. You can continue having fun. I should go home. Seeing that I was really about to leave, Jenny was stunned for a moment, then grabbed my arm and used her most common coquettish trick, dragging me into the private room without any explanation. Justin Carter's smile froze when he saw me. I didn't expect Ryan to come to a place like this too. Justin Carter looked me up and down with contempt in his eyes. Ms. Woods told me that you hate going to entertainment venues the most, haha. I knew it. Married men are the least honest. I recognized at a glance that the custom-made designer jacket Justin Carter was wearing was the birthday present I had given to Jenny last year. Some time ago, I wanted her to wear it when she came with me to my parents' house for a meal, but she impatiently told me that she had lost it on a business trip. I only muttered softly that it was a pity, but the woman roared at me as if she had taken gunpowder. It's just an ugly, out-of-season jacket. You're asking so many questions as if you're interrogating a criminal. Ryan, why don't I make an appointment for you with a specialist in neurology right now? You should really get your idiotic pig brain checked. I was pulled in front of her so-called girlfriends by Jenny, chatting with them one by one. Listening to her friends teasing her for being bossed around by her husband, the woman looked at me shyly with tears in the corners of her eyes. As these people egged me and Jenny on to sing a love song together, Justin Carter took it upon himself to throw the jacket at me. He said pretentiously, Ms. Woods always says that it's because Ryan's health is too poor that she hasn't been able to get pregnant. This private room is especially cold, Ryan. You really should wear more. Realizing belatedly that her previous lie had been exposed, Jenny stuck to me nervously, refusing to let go. She said softly and carefully, "Honey, the city I went to on a business trip last time suddenly got colder. Justin Carter, this silly kid, didn't bring a thick piece of clothing, so I had no choice but to lend him my clothes." I looked at time on my phone, threw the microphone in my hand to Justin Carter, and said to Jenny, "It's just an unimportant, ugly piece of clothing. It doesn't matter if you lend it to him or give it away. You two should sing together. I won't disturb you." Before Jenny could speak, Justin Carter reached out and stopped me, pretending to be surprised. "Ryan, you don't really think that Jenny and I are having an affair, do you? It's not what you think." As Justin Carter wished, I saw the exquisite tattoo on his arm. Forbidden fruit and a black snake. 2 months ago, I had seen the same pattern on Jenny's chest. Meeting Jenny's instantly flustered eyes, I made a move that surprised everyone. In front of everyone, I took her in Justin Carter's hands and placed them together. I was like a wedding officiant, with a perfect smile and a magnanimous heart. True love is innocent. The one who isn't loved is the mistress. Don't be afraid. I won't hit anyone. I sincerely wish you two will be together forever. After saying that, I walked out of the private room with ease, but Jenny chased after me relentlessly with red eyes. Her face had never been so terribly pale. "Honey, I can explain. Will you listen to my explanation?" I looked at her, puzzled. "You're doing great with Justin Carter. Why do you need to explain it to me? Justin Carter and I don't have any relationship. I know my tattoo with Justin Carter caused you misunderstanding, but I can clearly tell you that my tattoo was just because I lost a bet with Serena Baker and it doesn't have any meaning at all. I can get it removed tomorrow. Ryan, we've been together for so many years. Can't you forgive me for being foolish this once?" The woman's overly anxious and high-pitched cries attracted several passers-by to stop and watch. Disgust flashed in my eyes. "Jenny, calm down. Aren't you afraid of being ugly when you're crying and screaming in public?" "I'm embarrassed. I have something to do. I don't have time to put on a show with you." On the day I ran into Jenny accompanying Justin Carter in and out of the basketball court, acting like a couple the entire time. I acted like a madman, dragging her and causing a scene in public. That was how Jenny perfunctorily dealt with me back then. Now, the tables have turned, and for the first time, I saw obvious pain and hurt in this proud and complacent beautiful woman's eyes. Ignoring the woman's lost expression, I left without looking back. For the next few hours, my phone screen lit up and went off again and again. Jenny sent more than a dozen messages, first asking me why I hadn't come home yet. She would wait for me to come back in the living room. Then, seeing that I had no intention of replying, she called every few minutes, until I turned off my phone. That night, I went to my parents' house and had a heart-to-heart talk with them until almost dawn. My traditional-minded parents finally accepted the fact that I was about to get a divorce. I slept until 12:30 p.m. As soon as I turned on my phone, I received a call from Jenny. Looking at the hundreds of missed calls that had piled up on the homepage all night, I rubbed my temples and reluctantly answered the phone. "Ryan, where are you right now?" Jenny's voice had never been so hoarse before. Clearly, she had been crying all night. I closed my eyes, my lips curled into a cold smile. Today is Friday. Where else would I be but at the office? Jenny was silent for a while before telling me that she had come to my office to look for me early in the morning. Right now, she was in the office parking lot. My casually fabricated lie was immediately exposed, but I still didn't blush or skip a beat. Instead, I played the victim and questioned her coldly. "Jenny, are you very free? Why are you so nosy? I'm an adult. I don't need to report everything to you." Jenny quickly softened her tone. That's not what I meant. I just wanted to pick you up and go home. Honey, you should be at your parents' house. Essie, right? I'll go pick you up right now, okay? My parents' house was indeed very close to my office. After thinking about it, I didn't reject Jenny's offer to pick me up, as I was planning to go home anyway. The car arrived, and the woman personally got out to open the passenger door for me. After getting in the car, I realized that there was something poking my back. I took it out and saw that it was a men's e-cigarette. Jenny threw the e-cigarette out the car window as if she was facing a formidable enemy, and said to me with shifty eyes, "Justin Carter drank too much last night and threw up everywhere." I didn't even notice that his e-cigarette was in the car. Ryan, don't misunderstand me, and I interrupted her. Jenny, I really don't care. What? I don't care about anything that happens around you, so you don't have to waste your breath explaining these things to me. The woman looked at my resolute profile as I closed my eyes to rest, her face pale. She knew I wasn't lying. When we got to the apartment, I took a shower. When I came out of the bathroom, Jenny, who never cooked, had already cooked 2 bowls of spaghetti with olive oil that didn't look appetizing at all, and was waiting for me to sit across from her and have a meal together. In the past, the thing I looked forward to the most was Jenny being able to get off work on time and sit across from me, enjoying the food that I had worked so hard to make to suit her taste. But after so many years of marriage, she not only never told me proactively that she had social engagements, but she also never had any positive comments about the food I made. Too salty, too greasy, too disgusting, makes me want to throw up. These were just the most common derogatory remarks. Once, she brought back a subordinate for emergency overtime. Hearing everyone praise the food I cooked, Jenny, with a look of disgust on her face, threw the midnight snack that I had specially cooked for her separately into the ground and let Justin Carter's pet dog devour it. After the subordinates left awkwardly, she said to me with a sarcastic look on her face, "These cheap and disgusting things can't be brought to the table. Don't bring them out to embarrass yourself in the future." In my heart, I was actually very clear that what the woman really hated that night was the heart-shaped egg that I had presumptuously fried and arranged, which had made Justin Carter feel sad for a while. "Honey, I just asked my mom a few days ago about how to make your favorite spaghetti with olive oil." Jenny looked at me with hopeful eyes. "This is the first time I've made it, so it's definitely not perfect. Will you try it first? If it's not good, I'll make you another one." "What did you say this is?" "Spaghetti with olive oil, honey." I said oh, and poured the still scalding hot noodles over her, while sneering. "If you didn't tell me, I would have thought that someone's dog used this bowl to poop in." Jenny's abdomen was scalded, but she didn't dare to move. She just bit her lip, tears in her eyes, and stared at me blankly. I didn't say another word to her, turned around, went to the study room, turned on the computer, and started to busy myself with my own things. After a while, the woman, who had cleaned up the mess, knocked on the half-open door. Just as she was about to say something, her phone rang. It was Justin Carter calling, his breathing hurried. After hanging up the phone, Jenny told me that Justin Carter, who suffered from claustrophobia, was trapped in a high-rise elevator at the office and needed her, the only cardholder, to go and deal with it. "Ryan, Justin Carter is my subordinate after all. Let's go together, deal with this, and then I'll take you to that street food vendor/diner you've always liked to eat at, okay?" Honey, don't be angry with me anymore. Don't misunderstand me anymore. I suppressed the annoyance in my heart, quickly stood up before Jenny could touch me, and tugged the corner of my mouth at her. I agreed to have a meal with her later, but I still had some work to do. Hearing me say this, Jenny breathed a big sigh of relief. Before leaving, she said to me with a happy smile, "Good honey, I'll go home as soon as I'm done with things at the office." The woman was so eager to save Justin Carter that she didn't want to wait for the elevator and went straight to the fire escape. As soon as she left, I called the lawyer and, after confirming that the lawyer had secretly clarified and recorded all of Jenny's and my marital property, I packed the luggage for the careless Jenny one last time. I put the luggage at the front door and deleted the female owner's fingerprints from the smart lock. I moved my index finger with a sense of relief and sent the divorce agreement that I had been preparing for a long time to Jenny. That night, ignoring Jenny Woods' frantic knocking, I put in my earplugs and slept soundly, having already alerted the apartment complex security guard. As expected, the self-important and arrogant Jenny Woods didn't reappear after spending most of the night standing outside my apartment. However, her social media feed, which had been blocking me, suddenly became incredibly active overnight. After leaving me, Jenny Woods seemed to be living even more freely and unrestrained. And I, in the following month, experienced a level of joy and contentment I had never imagined. No more making breakfast and dinner for a woman every day. No more waiting for someone to deign to send a message or call. And definitely no more being heartbroken and unable to sleep. All my time was spent working hard and enjoying exercise as I pleased. The afternoon my boss informed me of my promotion to department head, my cousin and I accepted an invitation from a female college classmate to hang out at the coffee shop she owned. I never expected to run into Jenny Woods and Justin Carter there. At the NCE of the coffee shop, Jenny Woods, upon seeing me, acted as if she had been searching for me for ages and stormed towards me furiously. I looked at her with icy indifference. "What do you want?" Before Jenny Woods could answer, Justin Carter, deliberately in front of several passers-by, pointed his finger at my nose and began to berate me with indignant fury. "Ryan Smith, you shameless bastard. You're not even officially divorced from Ms. Woods, and you dare to openly have an affair with a mistress." Before Justin Carter could finish his sentence, Jenny Woods had already, with lightning speed, grabbed a fistful of my female classmate's hair. "Shameless bitch! Who allowed you to seduce my honey babe sweetheart?" The usually aloof and refined socialite was actually acting like a common street brawler. Suppressing my surprise, my cousin and I quickly separated the two women. After picking up the glasses of my female classmate, who had been innocently caught in the crossfire, a surge of anger coursed through me. I walked straight up to Jenny Woods and, without a word, slapped her with a humiliating blow. Jenny Woods's eyes instantly turned red, and she stared at me, her lips trembling. "Ryan Smith, are you crazy? I'm your wife. How dare you hit me for this slut?" I said calmly. "Didn't you hear what Justin Carter just said? I have a mistress. I haven't loved you for a long time." Jenny Woods's reaction to my words was far more dramatic than anyone expected. "You're lying. I know your every move. You're only saying these things to make me jealous. Ryan Smith, how long are you going to keep this up?" Seeing me holding hands intimately with my female classmate, the furious and enraged Jenny Woods suddenly lost her voice. She didn't understand how I, who clearly loved her so much and had tolerated her for after 8 years of marriage, could bear to hold hands and flirt with another woman right in front of her. Justin Carter's eyes were filled with barely concealed glee. He reached out to support Jenny Woods, but before he could say anything, Jenny Woods suddenly shoved him violently to the ground. The woman stood there like a wooden statue, heartbroken and with tears blurring her vision, staring at me. After what felt like an eternity, she said to me with heartfelt sincerity, "Ryan Smith, I finally understand how you used to feel. I didn't understand the boundaries between men and women. Honey babe sweetheart, I really know I was wrong. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you." Hearing the woman's belated confession, I couldn't help but laugh as if I had heard the funniest joke in the world. Jenny Woods, if I don't receive your signed divorce papers by tomorrow, I will directly instruct a lawyer to sue you." With that, my cousin, my female classmate, and I returned to the coffee shop to continue our afternoon chat. I offered a sincere apology to my female classmate, who had been dragged into this mess, using tea as a substitute for alcohol. The female classmate waved it off, saying it was the first time she had ever seen someone beat up a mistress, and even though she was the so-called mistress, it had greatly satisfied her gossipy heart. Hearing this, the three of us burst into laughter. As for Jennifer Jenny Woods and Justin Carter, who was covered in dirt and not helped up, no one cared when they left. The next day, I did not receive the divorce agreement mailed back by Jennifer Jenny Woods. So, I wasted no time and directly instructed a lawyer to file for divorce. Half a month later, during the July rainy season, the country home was shrouded in an unending mist. Taking advantage of my vacation, I returned to my rural area with my parents to pay respects to our ancestors. The second day after returning, Jennifer Jenny Woods' new sports car parked on the cement driveway in front of the country home. Because I had issued a stern warning that if any relative, including my parents, dared to let the woman enter the ancestral hall and participate in the ancestral rites as my wife, I would sever all ties with that person and end all kinship. So, for 3 whole days, Jennifer Jenny Woods stood in the rain outside my house during the day and slept alone in her car at night. Everyone ignored her until Uncle George, who lived next door, found her collapsed on the way to the only convenience store at the entrance to the village. Jennifer Jenny Woods had a high fever all night, and even after taking medicine, my parents checked on her every half hour. My family background was vastly different from Jennifer Jenny Woods's. If we hadn't been so madly in love back then, the Woods family would never have agreed to let her marry me. After 8 years of marriage, I waited a long time at the entrance of the banquet hall, only to receive news that the car carrying my parents and relatives had broken down on the way to the wedding venue. That day, Jennifer Jenny Woods lay gently in my arms and comforted me, saying that although my parents-in-law were unable to witness our happy wedding, we had a long life ahead of us, and we would definitely become a family that everyone envied. Later, I found out that the car the Woods family sent to pick up my parents had not broken down. The Woods family had deliberately booked several tables at another hotel, keeping all my parents and relatives there. Jennifer Jenny Woods was fully aware of this. "Mom, you should go and rest. I'll watch over her." After sending my parents away, Jennifer Jenny Woods and I were alone in the guest bedroom. I knew she wasn't asleep, so I said, "Your fever has broken. If you still don't have the strength to drive tomorrow, have your driver come and pick you up." I got up to leave, but the woman weakly grabbed my arm. "Ryan Smith, I know I was wrong. I've already fired Justin Carter and blocked all his contact. CT information." I cough. I had already heard about Justin Carter being fired without her having to tell me. I had even seen a hilarious video online of Justin Carter yelling and screaming, demanding to see Jennifer Jenny Woods, refusing to resign, and ultimately being beaten into the hospital by several security guards. Jennifer Jenny Woods, let me tell you one last time, whether Justin Carter is there or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I find you disgusting. Both mentally and physically, Jennifer Jenny Woods filled me with revulsion. Jennifer Jenny Woods struggled to sit up in bed, and her voice was hoarse with tears. I know you blame me for getting that tattoo. It's okay. Ryan Smith, I'll show you my sincerity." On the coffee table next to the bed was a peeled apple that my mother had prepared, its color already fading, and a small fruit knife. I watched with my own eyes as Jennifer Jenny Woods bit down hard on her lower lip and used the knife to slash at the tattoo on her chest, one cut after another, until it was a bloody mess. "Ryan Smith, I beg you." The woman was covered in cold sweat, her face streaked with tears, and she crawled to my feet in utter humiliation. The dark red blood on her hands smeared my pants. "I don't want to divorce you. Besides you, there won't be another man in this world who treats me so well." Boo-hoo. Faced with the woman's desperate pleas, each word stained with blood, I stood up with a look of disgust. took 2 steps back, and brushed off non-existent dust from my clothes. Jennifer Jenny Woods, if you lose too much blood and are about to die later, remember to call for an ambulance yourself. Just don't die in my parents' house, it's too unlucky. Watching my heartless and decisive departure, Jennifer Jenny Woods slowly lowered her eyes and stared blankly at the fruit knife in her hand for a long time. Before dawn, Jennifer Jenny Woods quietly drove away. Not long after she left, dark clouds gathered, blocking out the sun, and a merciless rainstorm poured down. It was approximately 10:29 a.m. I received a call from an unknown number. Hello, are you Ryan Smith, the husband of Jennifer Jenny Woods? We are from the emergency department of National Central Hospital. Your wife has unfortunately been involved in a car accident on the highway and is not yet completely out of danger. Please come as soon as possible. Listening to the anxious voice on the phone, my gaze remained fixed on the pouring rain outside the window. Hello? Hello, Mr. Sue, can you hear me? Since I hadn't said a word, the doctor on the other end of the phone dutifully reiterated Jennifer Jenny Woods' current critical situation. However, I smiled and said, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. A year later, after receiving the divorce decree from the courthouse, I didn't even glance at Jennifer Jenny Woods, who was sitting in a wheelchair, looking gaunt and withered. I was too busy discussing with the young and beautiful female lawyer where I should take her for a lavish meal later. Just as we were about to get into the car, a faint meow caught our attention. It was a small, jet-black cat that was stubborn and timid. Thinking about the large sum of money I had received after the divorce, the female lawyer smiled and said, they say kittens bring good luck. I guess it's true. Joking around, I found a cardboard box. After putting the kitten inside, I tapped its little nose and said, from today on, you'll be called Newborn. Newborn seemed to understand my words. The fluffy creature let out a loud, powerful meow, full of anticipation for the future. The end.